Alright everybody, our game is underway once again after Valve has literally throttled itself. We are back into the action, kicking it off with a death of the Wisp. Quick TP down at bottom lane, it's been done. We had ourselves an extended delay as Valve patched the game, and then all of a sudden everyone just got randomly disconnected in. But we have 5 on 5. All the players are in, I'm in. I believe the Russian cast has also managed to get back in again as well. I saw Maelstrom reconnecting. I think Light of Heaven was also in before I reconnected back in too. So, we don't lose the game. We don't have to try and go off loads. So yeah, we've started. Okay, so let's get our bearings again. This is part 2 of a VOD. It might actually be part 1 because we've really got some awesome people who are doing our YouTube now. Hi, KitKat. Who are taking care of our VOD, so they should actually be blended together. But if you did notice a bit of a bump in the run, that's exactly what it was. Alright, so. Lanes-wise, farm-wise, who's on top? We've got Juggernaut, the man sitting on top of the board. Storm Spirit's the second one coming in for the Radiant side. He's got himself an Orchid, might have to help out his teammate as well as the Orchid's over on the Brewmaster. Dread, Stampede's going to land to get himself away from this one. Maybe not all the way. Havor's high movement speed. They have to turn for a defensive disruption. And then a static run and trying to slow him down. He's moving so quickly. Dread with the Purge and Catcher. Anything he's got, he just throws away. The Na'Vi looking to roll through, moving over towards the Centaur. Nice vision from Godblack, and Centaur can't run away. The Brewmaster ulti was doing some work there. Now to keep the Suns going and hold the Centaur in position as they look to try and force into this tier 2 tower as players will start to lag once again. Hopefully not for too long. Hopefully it's just a short little burst thing. And Vanscore's all good to go again. Let's not delay this. We don't need to. Unless it's really just unplayable. And right now, all Na'Vi want to do is just keep Havor's buffed up. Vanscore's job to do that one. Still got 2 more bottle charges and 3 urn charges. So giving Havor all of his life points back again is easy, but then again, it's even easier if he just dies. Because he's walking around with an Aegis, the immortal of his. So there goes the tier 2 tower. And the Storm Spirit, you still got Blink RP. If you can kill that Storm, what do we got for buybacks wise? Juggernaut's the only one for the Radiant side. So yeah, keep the pressure up. You're 22 minutes in. Na'Vi want to win this before they end up losing their, before Dota 2 completely dies. The Golden Experience, they weren't really ahead, but if they can get that early racked advantage, remember, you still have RP, and you've still got the Aegis Immortal. It's not there for much more time, and they're going to do something about it. The Centaur comes forward, Blink, Half Stomp, drills it back. Not too healthy at the moment. At the same time, we've got a Fissure on the back lines. The Blink up, and it's just an initiation. The RP will be committed. They want that Juggernaut dead. He got into the spin, which means just hold. He's held here. He has the Omnislash available as well, and let it go right now. Onto the Brewmaster. The Chen Army's also here to help give that extra control. The Fissure, however, will come in at the end to kill off the Juggernaut, ending that killing spree. But Na'Vi have overcommitted themselves. They've lost too many players. The Storm Spirit's going to jump up, try and make it a 4-for, but Godblack able to get his Blink Dagger back off cooldown again. And the Centaur, unless he's able to have more movement speed than actually, oh, Godblack. The movement speed's 30 above. That's why Kingham was able to chase down to Godblack. Now he won't be able to because you're going to force stuff up and running. And what did that tower get down to? 29 points of life. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. Well, HR in return, they'll take a tier 2 tower of their own. There's fortification for Na'Vi, but the Mag's not up for 11 seconds time, and he's kind of the critical part of that because he's the buff up for the bristleback. That's where you get your huge amount of damage. I think Storm Spirit is realizing they're not going to get anything more from this, so he burns his mana on a bit of a futile jump for Vanscore. So the mid tower will drop, and Na'Vi, potentially they could just group up and try this again. Yeah, they did lose the Aegis Immortal, so they don't want to put a Force back into the same position he was there. But when you've got SMY Vanguard and Oak Club 23 minutes in and you get the Empower buff up, it's better to take a triple stack as well. They could just take out the mid shortly. He's got enough for his Mithril Hammer, BKB. Then there is actually nothing that can control him apart from what? Purge? I think is the only thing that's really on this list. Nice little invis rune. This is worth it for Vanscore to pick up. He should tether and give him the charges already, but okay, he's just going to use it himself. Tethers in, so he still gets a little bit of it over. They're relocating? I think Vanscore's sitting here like they want to relocate, but it's bottom lane where goddamn is. But they're too late for it. So top tower ends up getting killed off by the Radiant side. So Na'Vi's top lane is getting a little bit more exposed bit by bit. Of course, they're pushed down middle. Next time they win a team fight, it's going to be insanely quickly, very, very quickly done. HellRaisers won't be finding any kind of opening on this top. Actually got a build coming in. It's so we actually got ourselves a Mana Star build coming in for the Juggernaut. No, actually, no, I take it back. This should be a Skadi. If you can save up enough money for it and get directly into the Skadi, I'm all for that. Very difficult to run away from the Juggernaut. Fantastic stats then. The Mana Star, the reason why I'm not seeing it doing much is because you're not trying to break free of any Orchids, any Silencers, things like this. You're not really going to dodge any of the stuns that come out from Na'Vi. So the Manta won't protect you. Alright, so 30 seconds until Roshan's up. We don't have our clock because we reconnected back in again. So all that stuff breaks. Follow Chen Army getting pulled back. So Force was trying to munch it up. Trap's been set up on top lane.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Fun to get rid of that mid tower. Might be worth throwing a sentry ward down here.
Under attack.
Because Na'Vi more than likely, like they don't have Shadow Blaze, don't have any invis heroes that would just run in. But if they fully smoke in there, you don't really have that instant vision that's going to be coming from the tower. You won't obviously break the smoke by having an observer ward there. But you're at least able to make sure that nothing's going to get close without your knowledge. Actually, no, I can probably take that back as well. Because you see how deep the vision is. Like this, that's the vision right there for the Radiant side. So they lost the building on the top. Actually, no, they don't need the ward there. There's no one walking in. I'm fairly certain if Na'Vi's going to move, it's going to be very, very obvious as well that HellRaisers that they're coming for him. So I'll just take it back. Centaur. He needs to stampede if it's going to catch up to a Vorst, but with Vanscore hiding in the tree lines and no way to instantly stop him, they could just relocate, save him out. They have the Observer Ward, the scouts out of Vorst as well as Vanscore inside the jungle, but Na'Vi make the right choices here. They're away from Roshan. The Observer Ward's already down for HR, and HR's going to be trying to be as very quick about this as possible. Juggernaut's their only source of damage to make this work. But you want the tier 1 and you want the tier 2 tower. The fortification already comes up slowing down Na'Vi, but they finish the tower, and Na'Vi is expecting HR to be fighting them. They're not expecting a very quick respawning of Roshan. But it's already done. They've TP'd in, but they're too late. They came to their tier 3 tower in the mid, and didn't TP into the tier 2 tower. So it's just a tier 1 tower lost on top. The tier 2 tower won't take any damage, because the creep wave from the Radiant side's holding it back. I think Artis also wants to have a crack at a Vorst. Needs to have more control. Vanscore's sitting behind him, so they repent him up. Storm Spirit's going to jump as well, and now it's time for a relocate safe. But oh, Storm! He read it perfectly! He knew where Vanscore would be! So he orchided him, so he was incapable of tethering to the Bristleback and taking him down to bottom lane to safety. So Vanscore will come back to die. Double Remnants were waiting for him. And there's 10 Bloodstone charges now on top of the Storm Spirit. Very fresh Bloodstone as well. HellRaisers playing that perfectly, but really it came down to this man. Afon just played it. He knew. He knew where the save would be coming from. At least he could guess where it was coming from. Check the nearest tree line. And now he jumps in even deeper. His mana regeneration's okay. That's not that brilliant. Even with the Aegis of the Immortal, you gotta arrive with some level of mana to fight. What else are we getting purchased up with these couple of kills? So it is the Skadi. Sending it back to base so we can pick up the second ultimate orb. So Skadi build from the Juggernaut, the Storm Spirit with 10 Bloodstone charges. It's hard to believe that Na'Vi were knocking on the mid-Rex door just before. But at the same time, it was kind of hard to believe they got in that position in the first place. Those 2 quick pick-off kills around the tier 2 tower of the Radiant side, and then they just try to force the issue up the mid, using the Aegis Immortal on the back of a Forst as the catalyst. And while that tower might have gone down and opened up the racks, it still didn't repair all the damage that was done before this point. And that's where HellRaisers can capitalize. And they're going to come in now for the bottom tier 3 tower. Shouldn't take too long. We got a call coming out, so she's for a loop around. To come in from behind, Storm Spirit's not going to go for that. In fact, he has the Observer Ward, scouting out Vanskoll. The Orchid is going to pop him. With the Hawkstorm double edge, they ensure the kill. And now the Brewmaster, well, he doesn't want to be part of this one either. Bottom lane, the battle seems to be raging on. The fissure from Goldblack is, in fact, locked a Forst in. He's burned his 10-second BKB. And what's been blown? Omni Slash? Okay. That's fine, but you've got a Skadi over an Artist, which means if Forst can't run away, the Penitent Man does not pass as they jump in even deeper. Orchid over on the Brewmaster. He can't get the jump off. Big RP from Dandy, catching out 3, allowing Phobos to not only get the clap off, but also the split. Goldblack trying to come back in to help out, but the Storm Spirit will pick him off. Remember, the Aegis Immortal is still up for the Storm Spirit. You'll have the Centaur hit the ground again in just a moment, but he also knows he can turn and fight this one. Goddamn dice in the tree line as the Force Quill Spray doing the work right now, but in comes Artist, gets the bash. He's actually got a basher? No, he's just beating the crap out of a Voss. Now moves over to Phobos. Storm Spirit still only now, just blowing the Aegis of the Immortal. They've really taken that long to kill him. SD with the disruption, he'll go down as well. Voss picked up a triple kill, but Artist with the spin, he'll be protected here. There's no basher over in a Voss. There wasn't enough damage to kill him off. So the tier 3 tower will drop. HR do have a lot of casualties of war, but they got a buyback coming out from the Brewmaster and a buyback out from the Bristleback. So Havost, as well as Phobos, having to spam out a lot of money. And this trap by the Storm Spirit's going to be revealed by Phobos. It's a lot of remnants with the Orchid. He's hoping someone would have just walked up the hill into those. But it's not going to happen. So he gets away as far as possible. With 13 Bloodstone charges, the Storm is fine. The mana regeneration of 30 a second. It's brilliant. But the Juggernaut. 714 on this guy. So high in the kill count. The Storm beats him purely on assists. 7-1-13. So 20 out of the 25 kills that Storm Spirit has been inflicting some level of damage to help out with it. I can't believe that Chen has a better score than Dandy at the moment. That's only because of one death, but still, God does manage to pick up more kills, which means you've got Mech, 4-star, Vlad's 32 minutes in, and he's 2,122 gold away from having his Aghanim Scepter. And there's that Basher over on Horse now. Realizing that they need some level of lockdown, some level of disable. Even if it's random at the moment, it's still going to be worth it. Sacrificing his buyback, but hey, he's already used it, so nothing's really been sacrificed. Fish up. Jump. They don't hold him long enough. Storm Spirit's now going to try and make the move on this one. That's a level 3 ultimate from Omni Slash. Something which Na'Vi does not want to try and do. Like, they don't want to fight up against that one, especially the position they're moving into. They're moving up and away from the creep wave. And that would have been 100% hero Omni Slash. Alright, so HR can push the creep wave up through the mid, but they don't want the tier 3 tower here. They want the bottom tower. But in order to do it, they're going to have to split themselves up a little bit. Or they commit properly when that mid wave pushes in. Artist doing the right thing, and in fact, Chen's the man who's bringing the friends. They're losing the tier 2 tower in the meantime. Havorce can TP himself back, and he's planning on this one. That's why the Bash is still sitting inside the courier. So he'll take this top tier 2 tower. If he can force the tier 3 tower, he will, but he'll TP back, and that slot then is opened up for the Basher. So he's ready to fight. Here comes the TP. The range rack's going down very quickly. That was the Juggernaut attacking it while still being inside the Blade Fury. And where's your opening? Okay, just send 2 more Juggernaut illusions in. With the Chen army feeding into that range racks, they've actually got to clean up these illusions. They're doing too much damage. The slow siege. Divorced. First stun, second stun's lined up. Third stun, which is coming in from the Major Centaur. And Storm jumps in deep. Dandy actually getting beaten apart. He's so low on life. It's the Omni Slash that was doing the work. While Goldblack, while he might have got one fissure off, Havorce will be ripped apart. Mag will buy back, so Danny come back for the living. He has his RP available, but can he even get in? You got the Juggernaut holding him back, and now Vincere, he's down for the count. The Centaur with the stun. The RP will be there, and Dendy gonna use the Fountain to his advantage. The Centaur, the man taking up, so the Juggernaut can run away to safety. But the bottom racks are still the primary objective. Brewmaster will drop. The racks will go down. And you got no Bristle back for 60 seconds. It's a mag with no RP and an Earthshaker with no Echo Slam that has to defend this. 10 seconds till the Echo Slam's off cooldown. But with the healing ward and the attack speed that's coming out from HellRaisers, they'll just take out whoever they want. And you can't even ask Denny to go for a kind of jump, as you can for Gold Black. That's probably the only thing you can do right now. So he just jumps in, gets the Echo Slam, but he's not fast enough. The Orchid from Storm, he knew it was going to come. The Echo Slam would open up the spot for Dana to jump in, skew them back under the tier 4 towers, and they'll be in a slightly better position to defend, but it's going to be a full Raxing with just that bad fight for Na'Vi on bottom. And there goes your tier 3 towers, and Na'Vi will call the GG. Good game, well played. Took us a while to get through this game, but we did it nonetheless, server disconnections or not. The game will end, and that will be a 3-0 against Na'Vi tonight. But it's not been fun and enjoyable. It's like what happened to NIP last night. But we'll see what happens with the 4th game. HellRaisers vs Na'Vi game number 2 will be up in just a moment. So have yourself a break, have a Kit Kat, and we'll see you back here in just a moment.